All right, I'm going to show you how to wash the dishes. I have a sink full of dishes right here. I have a one sink setup right here. There's no divider, no splitter, so I'm going to have to wash this accordingly. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to go ahead and separate the forks, knives, and spoons. Separate all these. Put this to the side. There's a cutting board inside. There are some glasses. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. Now the purpose of this is just organizing and getting the cups out of here because I don't get the cups out. And then typically what I like to do is if I have a large pot or bowl, I'll use that as my washing base. There's some eggs in here. I'm just going to scrape this off right here. Just getting the excess food off the pots and just get that off right there. So I'm going to go ahead and take this, put this to the side. Have a garlic grater for the greater good. I'm going to get all the forks and spoons, rally them up together. So I'm taking all of these and I'm separating all of this. Just like so. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn on the garbage disposal to get all that crud and food out of the way. So I'm just going to do this, get all the food out of the way, just like that. So once I have that out of the way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and turn the garbage disposal off. And I'm going to go ahead and put the pot right here. This is going to be my base. And what I do with this is I'm going to go ahead and put a little soap in it. So what I do is I'm going to wash this twice. Now the reason why I wash it once is because I want to get all the food and stuff off of here so it doesn't contaminate the rest of the dishes. So I'm just going to go ahead and wash this. Use some hot water. I'm going to turn this on. I'm going to get the water nice and hot. Not too hot for my hands, but hot enough to dissolve some of the oil and get off some of the things off of the pot. So I have this off right here. Scrub that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and rinse this. Water's warming up. Now I got a lot of the material off with the pots. So I have this, take this off. Alright, so I have all of that off. So now the water's getting hot. Just drain everything down the sink drain. And what I'm going to do is get this warm enough, and I'm going to put soap in. So this is going to be my base right here. So I'm just going to put some soap in there. And what I like to do is I clean the utensils first. So I'm going to put the utensils in here. Sharp items, make sure you put that to the side for a second because you don't want to hurt yourself, stab yourself. So once I've established this, add that in there. Water's pretty warm now. I'm just going to go ahead and fill this up with warm, hot water. Now the purpose of adding the soap in here is because the soap mixes the oil and water together and washes away all of the crud. So I have this in here. So what I tend to do is I find something like a colander or a bowl, and what I'll do is I'll wash this first. All right, see the colander, I have the sponge. Now it has one side which works as like almost a Brillo pad or a scrubbing pad. You use that to get things that are food that are stuck on that it hasn't quite dissolved. Remember, get the inside, the top of the handle, the bottom of the handle, and you can flip it on this side. This side actually gets a little bit closer to the surface. So if there's no crud, you just use that side. So I have this, but I'm not going to rinse this yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go right here and take the dishes. Now, one thing about these cups, or not the cups, but the utensils, they're soaking in this water. So if there's any crud on there, it'll start to dissolve. All right, so I have that. Then I have the spoon. I'm going to put that right there. I have this spoon. Then I have a larger spoon. Now, over time, you might get some debris built up on the sponge, but you just dip it back down inside of the pot, rinse it off. And when you're getting the forks, just go in this motion right here a couple of times, should get it. And don't forget to get the handle. Now, one thing about it, when I do this, there's still water on it, so it's soaking in on the fork. So if there's any debris left on there that I may have missed, which I don't because I'm like the Michael Jordan of dishwashing, should dissolve and come off in the rinse. So once I've done this, I've gone all the way through and through like your ma, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this. This is a measuring cup right here. Get the inside of that. You see how I'm doing that? Put that to the side. Now I have a garlic grater right here. Now for the greater good, I can go ahead and take a spoon and maybe scrape some of that off on both sides. And then, now I want to save this for last because this right here, it might add a little bit of lasting flavoration to the pot right here, which I don't want. So I'll fill up a little bit more water. So I'm going to do the grater last for the greater good of the dishes. And then I'm going to get to rinsing. But before I do that, I have some glasses in here. And I'm just going to go ahead and put some of these in the water. Now you could do this, okay, so if not a lot of them can fit inside the pot, what I'll do is I'll fill these up with water, these glasses right here. And what this does, it gets things starting to dissolve ahead of time. It's almost like pre-washing, but I call it pre-soaking. Okay, so get some of the dishes and just let them sit. And so while they're doing that, I'm going to go over to the side right here, and I'm going to go ahead and rinse these dishes over here. So you can raise this up. Now you can keep this in here and just do it like that. But however, I find it more efficient to actually pick up the forks and rinse all of this, rinse all the crud off. Get everything off, just like that. Give it a good rinse. And if you miss something like that, look at that. Just go ahead and dump it back into the dish pot. And then take your spoons, all this other stuff. Go like that. And go ahead and put it in the dish rack to be dried. So I'm going to take this and this is a grater. It's rinsed out pretty well. And I'm going to come back to that one fork that I missed. Now you see this right here. Probably get in a little closer. Crud right here. Just going to go ahead and take the Brillo side and go there. Maybe dump a little bit more soapy water on it. Have a spoon that I missed. Do that. And then this sharp knife. Did that last so I wouldn't get hurt. I'm just going to go ahead and take this knife, put that up, and then put that away. All right, so I did that. Now I'm going to go ahead and get these glasses and bowls that I've been soaking. This is one. I'm just going to go ahead and take this like that. Just go over it. There's no crud on it. There's a cup that was soaking. Dump out that water, put that in. Just go around with this right here. Get the mouth part of the cup, the bottom of the cup, the base, and important to get the inside, just like that. And do the same thing with this one. Inside. And outside, like that. Put that right there. Just go ahead. And then if you don't have long fingers to get inside of the cookie jar, you might have to get perhaps a brush or something that can get in there, but fingers are long enough, so I'm going to go ahead and take this and go like that. Get a glass right here. Put a bowl. Soak the sponge back in there. My name is Bob. You can probably call me SpongeBob. Get the inside. And occasionally you want to re-dip the sponge back in there. All right, so I've done that. I have a couple more bowls. I'm just going to go and sit these inside of the pot. Re-up my sponge like that. Go ahead and take this, go around, just like that. Go ahead, put that like that. And then have a top to a pot. Just go along and go like this. Now, after a while, you'll notice that the sink is starting to pile up with dishes that need to be rinsed. So what I'm going to do now is just, I'm going to take a break from, I have other dishes that need to go in there, but I'm just going to go ahead and start to rinse the top and then the other dishes that are in here. So let me go ahead and finish this. Have that. Inside of that. Inside of this right here. And one trick that I have right here, so when I'm rinsing, in order to save water, save the planet, I have this going right here. And then I'll have this filled and pour it out. I'll pour it into another glass. And I'm like semi-rinsing out this glass, getting rid of the suds. See this? Like that. It's rinsed out. I'll take this right here. Fill this with water. One last rinse. Dump that water out. Pour it into the new bowl. All right, so I have that. And then I'm going to take this one. All right, so I have other bowls that I have, and so I'm just going to go ahead, let these soak in here. Get some of this water. Inside, rim, outside. Same thing right here, outside, inside, inside. Have a top to a jar. Just go ahead and dump that in there. And I have a few more dishes right here. I have a pan, and I have a pot. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this. You see that this pan has some crud in it, so I'm going to use the Brillo side. And I'm just going to scrub the inside of it with the Brillo part, the scrubbing part. Stainless steel. And then this one. There's no crud in there, so I can just take the soft part of the sponge. Go around that. Take this part. This is wood. I'm going to use the scrubbing part of this to get in there. Back side. And the inside of the cup. I have one more top over here. I'm going to go ahead, get the inside of the top, outside of the top. I have a sharp knife. Now you want to use sharp knives at last and end. Go ahead, go that soft side. Be careful with these because you could hurt yourself. Inside. And then put this right to the side till I'm ready to do it. Now I have something really unique. I have a straw. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just get the outside of the straw, and then I have a straw scrubber. So I'm just going to go ahead and go inside. Straw scrubber, dip it back in. Go back in with the straw scrubber. And then ready to rinse. Rinse the scrubber first. But now that I'm down to the end, I have the pot, and I have the garlic press. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean this first with the backside to get the chunks of garlic out. It's a little tricky right here. Maybe take this, assist with the process. Process like that. So once you have that, let's go ahead and rinse it inside of the pot. All right, so once you do that, then I have this pot. What I'm going to do is just go ahead and take this, pour out some of the water, and then just take the scrub. This is the second time I'm doing this pot. Just go like this and go all around. I have some cooking scissors. Forgot about, just do that. And now it's time to rinse, the final rinse for all of these. What I find helpful in doing the final rinse is, what I'll do is I'll save water. I'll take some of the bowls, place them inside of the pot right here, and this right here, and I'll rinse them over the pot. Now what this does is I'm starting to rinse on the pot right here, but also conserving water because I'm knocking down two birds with, I have two stones and I'm knocking down one, that's not it. I have two birds, or I have a stone and a bird. I don't know the saying, but I have this right here, rinsing that out. So the pan, just go ahead and do that action. And the water that's dripping down is dripping down in the pot, assisting with the rinsing action for the pot itself. So I have that at the top. You see the water still pouring down inside of the pot. That's rinsing that by default. The side of the straw, cap, and then small bowl, larger bowl. scissors, and then the cutting board. So the cutting board, just rinse the cutting board. And then remember the knife that I had. Just go ahead and do the knife. Okay, rinse this. Now it's important that you look at your dishes very well because you can find places that you missed and you might have to go ahead and redo the wash. And so this right here, there's crud still in here. We've got cheese stuck to the pot. Just gonna go ahead and give it a twice over. Okay, have that. All right, so that's rinsed out pretty well. And that is how you wash dishes. Turn off that, or maybe rinse this right here. I hope this video was helpful. Thanks a lot for watching.